We start out on this new road. No turning back. But we have our ancestors with us. We're going to continue to dance with them. Dreaming them. Calling them. We are becoming what we were.
This borrowed and Mayan prophecies.
7 triangles of light.
Keep walking. You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
People who say that the gods made them from corn. They plan their lives according to the heavens. Well versed in astronomy, using a sophisticated mathematics, they calculated the movements of the night sky thousands of years into the past and thousands of years into the future. They knew that the universe moved in cycles. Their lives were ruled by the rhythm of the natural world, planting and harvesting, birth and death, just as the great tree of life emerges from the earth.
Always, they're connected. Science and religion.
In dreams, we learn from the Maya gods when to plant and when to harvest, when to set a fire, and when to do the corn ceremony.
What we're digging up, what we're coming up with is part of our history. And the men that lived here are some of the greatest men we've ever had. And it's the fact that we're getting to know more and more and more about the life of these people.
They still maintain their customs, they still maintain their ways of organizing their societies, and it's very exciting to see how much of the ancient Maya way of life is still alive as well.
Because American history does not begin in 1492 with Columbus. It begins in 200 BC with the first Maya king who wrote his name on a stone. What is happening now is the people who made these places, people like Yashpak or Burjak or Pakal, are getting back their voices. They are becoming real to us and speaking to the people of the 20th century about who built this place and why and what they felt and what they thought about the world. These are not anonymous people anymore.
You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
Yo, yo.
Aho, community, LA natives. We're back after the Mazatzin show. How you feeling, Armando?
Man, I feel amazing. You know, we just came off of quite possibly one of our most popular episodes yet.
I'll tell you, it was probably the most informative one, and it was just scratching the surface. It was such an honor to have Maestro Mazatzin come with his book and also his poster, right? Now, we were gonna have a guest today, but somehow he canceled, and so we're gonna talk about what happened on Wednesday. But I want to take my time because a lot of information was given on Wednesday. And I want to be interactive. I want to know that the crowd, what did they take out of it? What do they want to know? And then kind of generally point them back to the information that Maestro Mazatzin gave us. It was a ton of information. But the most beautiful part of what he gave us was our promise. I wanted to talk a few minutes about the promise. What does that promise mean? That the sun will find dignity once again and shine on us. and give us the tools to fulfill our mission. I believe that's what he said. I might be a little off, but it's pretty close. So, what did he mean by that? The sun. Sun. Our ancestors took the time to break down time very specifically into the minutes. When they did that, they also realized that there were energies and companions that were going on that same piece of time. Maestro said, all we are is just a piece of time. We are one ray of the sun. At that particular moment, when you were born, you took your breath, and there was somebody present there. Some energy was there. And our mission is to understand that energy. So then, if the promise is the sun will once again find dignity and shine upon us again, that to me means if I find my tonali using the tonalamat, then I will be given the tools to complete my heart's mission. That sounds a lot like the promise. See, it was very important for the Mexica people to complete the Tonal Machillo, known as the Aztec calendar. Mazatzin broke it down in the episode. He said, we finished work. And then 13 years later, it was destroyed. Or not destroyed, but severed, like a beautiful flower ready to bloom. They came and cut it because they didn't understand it. They didn't understand that we documented time. All this information, all those books.
And for anyone that didn't tune in last week, can we go ahead and break down who Maestro Mazatzin is?
Yes, Maestro Mazatzin is a really beautiful man who I met about 25 years ago. And he started his journey on understanding the sunstone. And so he went to different communities and different maestros, and he compiled a bunch of information and then sat down with his family, which is his sons. And he started teaching his sons, and then his sons started finding things, and then they all came together and put together this poster. It's a general breakdown, which is not really general because they're very intelligent people. And I'm going to break down who they were too, because I figured it out as well. It's like I had a jigsaw puzzle in front of me, and I only had pieces. And Mazatzin said, oh, didn't you know this piece goes with that piece, and that piece goes with that piece? And so I took a few days since that episode and just trying to conceptualize that. But Mazatzin is the brother who compiled this information for us with his sons, and now it has given it to us to study. You see, Mazatzin's a beautiful man, and he'll be the first to tell you that he's just guiding you back to the promise. The documented time. That if you figure out how to read it, it will give you your children what lives inside their heart, and you will know how to raise them. You will know how to guide them because you don't own them. The Son would give us everything we need to fulfill our mission here on earth. Didn't he say that, Armando?
Yep.
And so when you learn your tonali, and you go, wow, I'm going to use the energies of my tonali. That's just the first step. Because each day of the year, except for the last 5 days, have energy too, which you can use, which has companions, And those companions have instructions. I hope I'm giving you a clear picture of our promise that the Son would give us everything we need to fulfill our mission here on Mama Tonantzin. That we relentlessly work towards our heart's mission. Whatever that mission is, you have the tools now to figure out your energy and then apply that energy into a 20-day repetitive calendar, using those energies of that calendar to maneuver through the days. The lesson that Mazatzin brought was that the Tonal Mashiach, the Aztec calendar, was a culmination of all communities across Turtle Island. They gathered Olmec information. They gathered Toltec information. They gathered Maya information. And they put all that information into one stone and became Aztec, the harmonious humans who compiled all the information of the abuelos into one stone and placed that information into bits of time. The promise that the Son would give us everything we need to fulfill our destiny here on earth. Once you understand how to read it. The great warriors of the past gave us a challenge 500 years ago because they understand the cosmic clock. They understood that we would come into a time of darkness, but like Maestro Mazatzin said, there was always a candle. There was always a friend. There was always an uncle. There was always an abuelo who always tied you back to the promise that one day the sun would find dignity and shine on us again. And that those seeds of Cuauhtémoc and the great Mazawalis of the past, the humble, harmonious beings of this continent known as the Mexica Aztec people, selfishly understood everybody's knowledge, right? And put it into a stone that could be read using the time of the day. Each time of the day release certain energies, frequencies, and is given a symbol. This is just scratching the surface of what you could do with this type of information. I never doubted that one day we would understand what Cuauhtémoc meant. That the sun would return once again. And that a lot of abuelos and a lot of maestros, not only Mazatzin, but a lot of good intentions go into this. A lot of time goes into this. So that we can, find our way back. Or maybe not even find our way back. Maybe just we are able to open our eyes to the way time works. At least for our culture or our understanding, for our bloodline and our lineage. Not that we are the only ones that can understand it, because this is a global understanding. A human thing is what Mazatzin said. that any human can apply this knowledge to their birthday, to their life. So, let me take a drink because I got. It was an amazing show. The humility that Mazatzin has, and the wit and the delivery. We definitely are going to build more episodes with him. But I don't want it to be random episodes. I need it to be focused episodes, because the promise is that. The promise is that one day we will be able to read our great Tonal Mashiach with accuracy and precision. If we can apply that, like you apply astrology, Scorpio, Cancer, whatever it is, I think it's better, a more accurate application is to understand the energies you were born in. And not that those energies are yours, like superpowers, that, you know, if I'm water, I can't drown. It doesn't mean that. It just means that those energies were present when your life combined to become a human. And the mission of our great Mexica Aztec elders was to put together that information in stone. Because the sunrise and the sunset has certain places during certain times. My job isn't to break every bit of this information down for you. That's not my job. My job is to inspire you to go find the information, to go research books, whatever it is, it's out there. But if you want to find precise information, information that leads to pretty much a math equation that equates to certain things, like a number, a symbol, an energy, and a companion. And as Mazatzin said, there's other books that you can apply. There's other things that you will see in other documentations that the great ancestors left for us. It was really, 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 really interesting a couple of days after the talk that we had with Maestro Mazatzin. It was like seeing when I used to look at the Tonal Mashiach, and I used to just try to figure out, like, whoa, what does this all mean? You know, you kind of just put like a little bit of a, you know, you put your own answer to this very complex equation, because unless you know how to do the equation, you can't figure out the answer. So whatever the answer is, that's what it is, you know? And when you look at that math equation and you're confused and you're trying to figure it out, I'm trying to explain the way I used to look at the Tonal Mashiach, or the Aztec calendar. And now I look at it, and at least I know what the first line is, right? And if I can apply my energy into understanding the foundation of it, which are the 20-day signs that repeat, you know, cyclically, you know, then I can figure out the second line in time, which is how the energies work, right? Again, let's not be Eurocentric with this information. Let's not go, oh, I'm an eagle, so I could see things, and I'm this. It's not superpower. It's the energy that exists within your time you took your first breath. It's not like, you know, everybody, we got to take the ego out. That's why I always recommend anybody who's going to start walking a path of the promise, right? We got to clean our Western thinking, right? And I really recommend the 4 agreements for that. Because once you get hold of your vessel, by not taking things personal, by not making assumptions, by doing your best, so on and so forth, then you took control of your vessel. And then you know that you're Mexica. And then you run into information about Mazatzin, right? And then you buy his material or his tools to apply to your vessel. And now you also have malinali, mineral, the plant-based mineral that the ancients used to use. You see how you see how it was all a jigsaw puzzle? And now things are starting to fit in place because we had a promise that one day the sun would find dignity and shine on us again. We had a promise. It's right here. They completed the work. 13 years later, the Spanish came and severed the flower. But we have a promise. And it's all here. If you take the time and respect the elders that write about this stuff, then you will find your own energy. You see, elites can't control that. They can manipulate it, but they cannot control it. If they keep you blind to your energy that took thousands of years to compile, that's a powerful thing.
Shout out to Mashika1309. He asks you, Zero, where can he get that poster and that laminate?
Well, Maestro Mazatzin has his own website. Can we pull that up, Armando, real quick? I'm going to pull up his website so you can go directly to his website. I would like to offer it on LA Natives, but we haven't really talked to him about that. But it is available. And if you have a hard time trying to locate it or get it off his website, which I don't think you will, contact LA Natives and we'll get it for you, because we're planning on buying a few wholesale, right, Armando?
Yes. And
as soon as we do that, then we can
create that humble pipeline, just to give our audience what they're seeking,
Absolutely. And these are the tools that we need to
so his website
to apply our tonal.
His website is Aztechnology. Let me go ahead and pull that bad boy up.
Absolutely. And can we type it in on the chat if you can?
Yes. And for anyone tuning in, keep in mind we are giving away this white t-shirt and this black hoodie. It's a medium hoodie and a large t-shirt. So for anyone that watched the Mazatzin segment, add to the comment that you watched it and you will automatically get entered to win these prizes here. So just as long if you watched last Wednesday's segment, let us know and you will be entered to win.
I'm telling you, man, it was like an epiphany I've never experienced before. Understanding the promise, understanding how the days work, understanding how they broke down time in certain segments. He asked me on live, what do you think an Aztec is? Well, I know that they come from Aztlan and, they followed the hummingbird, which is the wheel that led them to Mexico. I didn't feel bad about that because, there was no one-to-one for me. I just had, like I said, a bunch of jigsaw puzzles and I had to put that all together myself. But when he broke it down, what it was, it made complete sense to me.
That's cool. He actually added our segment on his website.
Well, it's a powerful segment, and who hasn't seen it yet, you better go see it because you'll want these books and posters immediately. I mean, it's very difficult. You know what it is? It's very high grade math. And if you're not into math and all that stuff, I'm not saying that you're gonna have to go there with a pencil and start breaking down and dividing. It's not that. It's conceptualizing the way the numbers work and what energies are present and how you can use those energies. For example, today is the day of the monkey, right? Here's an example of it. the day of the monkey. Today is the day of the monkey. So today's energy is very happy. Picture what a monkey would feel like in the jungle, how it swings from tree to tree, how it loves to dance, how it loves to express itself. Imagine letting all that energy, that maybe you're an uptight guy, but if you follow the Tonalama, that you would know on the day of the monkey, I have to be this way, I have to express something in this manner.
Yes.
And then your day fits and it flows into the next day, which is Malinali, where maybe you take fruits and you take herbs and you take teas that day, because today is the energy of plants. You see how you're applying this on a daily basis, using your own energy that you were born under. It was a promise, bros, right here. They finished the work.
So shout out to Native Tendencies. They say it would be great idea if we could get like some sort of group type readings where it's broken down by chapters and in different episodes. And believe it or not, I think we are going to be working on that with our Patreon launch.
Yes. I'm gonna study this book very, very well. And I've always been a person that has kind of just pointed a finger to a direction. It's not that I know it. It's not that it's mine. It's not that. But Malinali understands photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? What do you think that is, Armando? It's light, and then the light hitting the plant turning it into food, and it sustains itself, right? So it has to translate light. So if you are born under the Malinali, then you understand how light works. That's a very powerful energy to understand. It's not your superpower, but it clicks when someone talks about it. What is light? Light is electricity. It's energy. It's thoughts. So how am I translating the light that's hitting my body into my thoughts that's creating my reality that I live in? Because my abuelos fulfilled their promise. They completed the work.
So Himalayan Queen says she watched the entire podcast. It was beautiful. Kevin Ortiz says he watched it twice to soak in all the knowledge, and he wants to rewatch it again. By the way, he has a white LA Natives t-shirt. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Azteca Maya Danzante. They say, I love how the Maestro said that the colonialists,
Yes.
were so worried about gold, but forgot the main thing, which was the pieces of our history, the calendar.
Yes. This is very, very high level information. To understand how to not manipulate, but incorporate this into your daily life, which takes a lifetime. It's a journey. It's not something you go, okay, cool, I already know it. Yeah.
Well, and it's another thing to incorporate it into your hip hop music. Zero?
Well, look, we're all born under an energy, right? Our tonalama. And I started really understanding that. I always knew it. I kind of existed within it, but now it's very precise. My information is very, very precise because I understand light. Light doesn't confuse me. I use it. I transform it into food and I live off of it. Malinali. Right?
Congratulations on the storefront.
Thank you. Right. And look,
you
my
said
business revolves around my name.
And you said it's off of Whittier Boulevard?
Yeah, it's 4528 Whittier Boulevard. We're about to be open in about 2 weeks. We're about to build a community there, brother. A community. Like Uncle Mazatzin said, that this calendar was only able to be finished because they reached every single community. Why? Why would they go do that? Why would they go to the farthest of the farthest and learn? Because they're following stars and their star positions. And what did it mean to the person in that community? And how does it apply in one big story? They would take a lifetime sometimes and come back. Because Mazatzin said the Mexico Tenochtitlan was the warehouse of that information. So maybe they would be gone for 15 years, come back with an abundant amount of information about a certain star point. And do they follow that star too? And does that mean that over there too? It's all information put into a stone. So what Maestro Mazatzin said is, if you study the Olmec, then study the Toltec, then study the Maya, then you become the Aztec harmonious man or woman. Because you're humble to everybody's information and creation story. And then they used science and math and applied it and created the great Tonal Mashiach. Our promise. They said one day our sun would shine again. It's right here. They finished the work. It's not incomplete. Armando, is this sun incomplete in anywhere? No, I think I see every single bit of it complete.
And I love the Maestro's reaction, his facial expression when he said they finished the work. It was so powerful.
Because it's going to apply to today. Because it applies to today. You think capitalism and monarch systems of greed and manipulation of religion is going to rule forever? They're not that powerful and they're not that smart. They didn't complete a stone. Did they go to a community, every single community across this landmass, build a relationship, understand, and bring that wisdom back? No, they did not do that. They lied, they cheated, they murdered, they raped, they abducted, they human trafficked. They could never possibly build something like this. Ever, ever, ever.
And if anyone watching and you saw this man at Mexica New Year do his thing, much respect to you, right, Zero? Because to see it in person, it's on a whole different level.
Right. Because it's done with a good intention. He's following his tonali. He has a mission to complete here on earth, and we all do too.
So
because
again,
the sunstone tells us that.
So again, for anyone tuning in, if you watched that segment with Manta, leave a comment and you will be automatically entered to win this white t-shirt, which is a large, and this black hoodie, which is a medium. So feel free to chime in. Let us know how you felt about that segment.
Absolutely. So everybody goes, oh, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to beat the colonials? How are we going to beat the monarchs? How are we going to beat the elites? We don't have to beat them. There's no war between me and them. It's about knowledge now. It's about knowledge. What kind of knowledge does your abuelo have? What kind of knowledge did he leave you? Because mine left me this. Mine left me 26,000 years of culminated knowledge from across Turtle Island. That's what my grandfather left me. And he said, if I could figure it out, it will once again shine on me. Because I will understand its time sequence and how to apply it to my daily life and my daily energy, your daily energy. There was a promise. And they finished the work. That's what he said. I'm going to repeat that the whole podcast so you get it through their head. Our abuelo said, here's your gift. It's not yours. But if you learn how to read it, the great Sun Father will show you love and warmth. He will tell you not to cross certain boundaries because during these times, those energies exist. This is the promise that one day our sun would find dignity and shine on us again. What does that mean? If we took the time to read it, in a humble manner and understood that those energies are not ours to own, but ours to understand, apply, and finish our mission here on earth. There's a promise, and they finished the work. I suggest you go try and find that work.
You know, the whole time growing up as a kid, we had a huge Mayan calendar, Azteca calendar, on our wall.
Yeah.
It was like of stone or something. I don't know. As a kid, I just thought it was like a centerpiece or something.
Yeah, piece of art.
Right.
You know, I go to restaurants there.
Because we go to school and they teach us nothing about that.
Well, if they taught you how to use your own tonali, you would not be intimidated by white professors.
Like, what was the history they were teaching us in elementary? Like, looking back at it now, it's so pathetic.
Well, you got to understand their history and the history of these elite monarchs who manipulated Wall Street. And it goes back to the Rockefellers who established the first universities, the first big pharma, and the buying and selling of oil. Look at it. There's a good documentary everybody should check this out. It's called, oh my God. I think it's called Standard Oil. The documentary about Standard Oil or the Rockefellers, something like that. Look that up. Search that up on Google. I saw that and I was like, whoa. It blew my mind how they took control of so much. But that's what I'm saying. That's what their grandfathers did for them. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to create these fake things and have their children be stupid forever because everybody stays stupid forever, right? If we never give them the chance to learn, they'll always stay stupid because that's what they did in England. They just kept everybody ignorant, and the dumbest one was the king, you know, but he had a fucking ruler too, which is the church. So you just got to look back in terms of finding your place in this understanding of decolonization. The reason you had an Aztec calendar in your living room, Armando, is because we were always connected. Remember, he talked about, Mazatzin said there was always a candle. Even if it was just an art piece on, you as a kid went, oh yeah, that's crazy. So I remember that. And now you're going, what? I'm going to apply it to my life? What?
Right.
It has so much information?
And I remember as a kid when my father bought it in Michoacan.
Uh-huh.
He's from Raruana, a small pueblo out there in Mexico. And man, it just like almost didn't fit in the car, but he was dying to have it. And then we showed up to the house. You know, I'm a twin, so me and my brother helped him put it in. We were like 5 or 6 years old, like honestly trying to help him. Because we thought the stone was such an amazing piece.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it was stayed on that wall for well over 10 years.
Wow. There you go. There's always a candle. There's always a reference.
And why is it that not once I asked my dad, what is that all about?
He didn't know. It wasn't time. It wasn't time. It wasn't time. We didn't understand
So I'm sure so many other people out there could relate, right, Zero?
Absolutely. It's nobody's fault that they don't know. Remember, it was a beautiful flower that someone took a sword and went quack. Who needs that? Who needs this? Choo! You know, where's the gold? Where's the gold at? And the abuelos are all, you don't want to know this? What is that? I don't understand that. I don't want to know that. That's useless to me. Where's the gold? Right? Forget about how to use every minute of time, and every minute of time has a certain energy that you can apply to your mind and your thoughts and how much you can do in 15-minute increments.
And why they tell you time is against you, he tells you time is for you.
If you know how to surf it, if you know how to
it's your best friend.
Energy, it's your father. They finished the work. This is I know I'm sorry I'm so excited for it, but when he said that they finished the work, imagine if we didn't have the outside, one of the serpents was not finished because the Spaniards came and they killed everybody and they didn't finish it. culminating 26,000 years, because he said one serpent equals 13 and the other serpent equals 13,000 years. That's the precession of the equinox. That's 26,000 years of documented time. 13,000, 13,000, 13 plus 13, 26,000 years of documented time broken down in 15-minute increments.
One has a heart, the other doesn't.
It's an amazing tool. But it takes long times of studying. It takes humility. It's not your weapon. It's not that. It's understanding how to live within the energies that exist, because our grandfathers took the time to go to other communities, sit down with other elders, and be humble and learn their medicine, and then bring it back to Mexico Tenochtitlan and document it onto a stone.
If you have this Aztec calendar tattooed on you, I would think you know what it's all about.
Some do, some don't. But now it's here.
And for the people that don't, and they still go ahead and tattoo like the whole calendar on them, I guess kudos to you, because it's the first step.
It's the candle that he was talking about.
Right.
It's like, I don't know why, but I'm gonna tattoo the whole thing. I don't know why, but I'm gonna do it. Or maybe he does know why. Oh, well, it's the great stone of the Aztecs, and that's all he knows. But now Mazatzin said, no, me and my sons are gonna break down that, because if you use it with this book, you'll realize, holy smokes, that's how you read it. That's how you read that book, because you contrast it with this stone. This stone and this book go together.
Shout out to Jose Guru 75. He says, comparing what was our essentials to theirs are incomparable.
Absolutely. See, one day we would find dignity and it will shine on us again, because we know how to apply this energy. It's in your blood. You just need to take the time, and you need to be humble and to work within the energies as if they're teaching you, not you owning them. Like, I'm an eagle. Oh, I'm a badass eagle. Or I'm a jaguar. Blah, 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 blah. Jaguars are very quiet. Jaguars are very secluded. Jaguars, you don't even know they're there. They're not flamboyant. If they are, they're going against it. But they're very precise when they want something. That's what he said. Right? Once he got his eyes on it, boom, he's getting it. You see how the energies work? They didn't want anything to do with that. That's knowledge. That's dumb. That's superstitious. That's how stupid they were. I don't mean to insult people or call them bad names, but I don't like rapists and I don't like thieves. But they didn't have no idea what this was. This was something different. They were in basic math, and they hit a calculus teacher who was like, what? You don't know this? You don't know that this is valuable? You don't know that you can run an entire continent of communities using this stone? You don't know that? That's what they were.
And who taught Maestro Mazatzin all this?
A lot of people.
It wasn't just one person, or
no. It's just like the Aztec stone. The Aztec stone isn't just the Aztec knowledge. It's a culmination of knowledge that goes from the Olmec all the way down to the Aztec. It's an amazing piece that has books that coincide with it. Now I understand it. And the person, from what I understand, the Mazatzin, and I might be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong because I'm still learning, but the person in the middle is you looking up.
And I want to make it clear that for anyone last week who contributed, you guys helped him out with his gas,
fixing his car,
getting him into a hotel. People were donating just to show love.
Yeah.
To support his,
and he deserves that.
And he deserves that. Yeah, he does.
He deserves that. All of them do. And I hope that one day LA natives could give back to those people, because we know who they are. They're still alive.
And
Arturo Mesa taught Mazatzin certain things.
And off camera, he made it clear that he wants a bigger platform.
Yeah.
Not just for himself, but just for the whole community as
Absolutely.
a whole.
Absolutely. But again, not everybody can sit in Jaime Escalante's class. You know? I don't want to disillusion people with getting fired up and going, oh yeah, I could do it, and then boom, it's too complicated. I know I spent 3 days going, I don't get it. How am I gonna go on air? And then boom, I just started using my own energy. My tonali. How come I'm not applying my tonali to my everyday life? How come I'm not documenting in the Sen Wali, which is your documentation of your 20-day cycle? How come I'm not using those tools? And I started using them just a few days ago, and the difference is like liberating.
So what's stopping just in the public school curriculums, right, Zero?
They don't think it's relevant. They think they're Spaniards. They go, what? This? This doesn't apply in anything, because it doesn't apply in you working for me. It doesn't apply in you knowing how to count the hours that you put in to get $15 an hour. Do you know what I mean?
No, they're just preparing you to get into what they call the workforce.
Right. Like mules and cattle. We can't complain that elites treat us like cattle if we act like cattle, right? Oh, I'm just gonna go sit down and, be a cattle. No, but if you're sophisticated, if you understand our great understanding that the ancestors took 26,000 years to document, 26,000 years of documented time put into a stone that you could read today by using other books that apply to it, understanding the energies that it gives every day, and understanding the energy that you were born in is the promise. Promise isn't gold. The promise isn't a mansion. The promise isn't a Rari. It's not. The promise is that you will understand yourself.
Stop thinking about the Air Force Ones.
There's much more things. Now is the time where you go, am I a Spaniard or am I an Aztec that I want to seek to be a harmonious person with nature? Because that to me is more valuable than anything.
But what fuels everything? I just think, money fuels everything, right?
Yeah, but that's falling apart too. Money's falling apart too. Now Bitcoin, with Bitcoin being involved, and it's just falling apart because Bitcoin is like...
It's decentralized.
Yeah, it's decentralized. And if you have 20 Bitcoins or whatever, however it breaks down, because you can break it down, you can break one coin down into $20 or whatever. But in other words, you don't have to print it. There's only this amount that exists.
Right, and it only gets larger in price when more people decide to use it. So it's a full-blown transparent type of thing where the more it's in demand, the more it's worth.
Right. So imagine when they start pulling the fiat currency away from it. That means if you own 100 Bitcoins and I want to buy something for 1 Bitcoin, I just give you what I have, and there's no printing, there's no making up of money, there's none of that. So my point is that what is it that's fueling this system or whatever that's happening right now? We already knew it was going to fall apart. There's no sustaining keeping people stupid and thinking that you're better than them just because, right? White people are like that sometimes. They're just because. Like, I remember I used to have a brother-in-law. He'd be like, dude, you're so smart. Like, it's really weird that you're so smart. It's really weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get you have a concept about everything. This is a white dude telling me this.
Well, it's because you question things.
Because I have answers. Because I understand the way it works. I understand how geopolitics works. I don't have a degree, but I understand how it works. I understand light. My energy is malenali. I understand information. I digest information and create food out of it. Photosynthesis. You see the power in the understanding of your tonali? it's life changing. It took me 3 days. I looked at it and I was like, man, I'm never gonna understand this. Just doesn't. But we're gonna get Mazatzin to break down the things that we need to know so that we can fuel our journey. This is just fuel for your journey. It's not the superpower again. I want to take the ego out of it. You know? There's certain symbols and they pick these symbols for certain reasons. Our job is to try our best to apply it. Not just read it, regurgitate it out. How do you apply that energy in your daily? And then when you drink the mineral and it heals your body and you regain your energy and you regain your thought process and you regain your mission here on earth, you see how our sun will shine upon us once again? And then there's cosmic energies that happen. And if we're aware of those and we're in the right places at that time and we're feeding our energy and we're taking care of our temple, our shell, our body, then we can fulfill our destiny that our abuelos gave us 500 years ago. It's not just about naming your kid an indigenous name. It's about teaching them how to read our great-grandfather's son and how its energies apply in our daily life. In 15-minute increments.
Shout out to Richie from Indigenous 1492.
Richie.
Thank you for co-hosting that segment. If it wasn't for you, man, I don't think it would have been such an explosive show because he was sitting there just absorbing it all.
I love Richie.
And we had different, like different generations of just cats. Like we had Richie, you have myself, we have Zero, we have the Maestro. Like that's 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. We all have like 10-year differences.
Wow, that tells that when we were sitting with Mazatzin and then he's all, what is today? Today is the day of the deer. Doesn't surprise me. See, once you start studying this calendar, it's cyclical, so it repeats. So once you start getting into it, it's gonna be like, oh, knowing it off the top of your head.
We straight up had 4 generations here.
4 generations. 4 generations.
And Richie's gonna have to hold it down for the next generations to come.
Yeah. We're preparing them with the tools. We're just a community.
And this is why I think it's gonna be so vital for us to take initiative, right, Zero, and to just start doing these events.
Yes.
Right? And events are not easy to organize.
Not during this time.
Right. But if we put in the effort and energy behind some exclusive LA natives invite-only events, best believe they're going to be some of the most memorable events you could go to.
Because there's 4 generations of us.
Yes.
Carrying this prayer, carrying this intention. There's 4 generations of us. And we respect each generation for where it sits. That's a part of the community. That's a part of why we put together LA Natives. LA Natives is your show. It's the community show. The community of Turtle Island.
This podcast is just a spark. Zero.
Yes. It's going to be fun to be able to, because I know since this is our first year and after 26 episodes we're going to we're going to restructure things. But it's been like a great honor to bring you this information and know that there's going to be people that are going to challenge it. They're going to be like, oh, that book, or oh, that guy, or oh, look, we're just learning basics. And I'm not going to turn away someone who said, oh, I did this with my son. And by the way, my son has passed away. So this is a part of his legacy. Che. Right? Mazatzin's son, Che. Thank you, brother. Thank you for taking the time and sitting with your father. Thank you for letting you let him go out and learn all this stuff. only to bring it back and for you guys to create it together. This is a father-son project, this book right here. Father-son project, this poster right here. A family intention. Community. That's what community is, a family. And we went to all Turtle Island and studied with all abuelos across Turtle Island, only to bring it back to the warehouse of Tenochtitlan to build or to carve or to create this accurate measurement of time that applies and breaks down into minutes and what energies are present, what companions are there to guide us through our day.
So, shout out to Bugsy Moguez.
Bugsy, what's up, brother? He's the one that gave us the LA native shout out, Bugsy. I think. Are you that guy? I think you are.
He said he swooped on the book. He got a copy of the book.
Sweet. Apply it, brother. Read it. Don't be frustrated that you don't understand it. Okay? Use your YOLO, your heart, to guide you. Because that's what guided them. You know how humble you had to be to sit in someone else's lodge or sit in someone else's prayer room and...
He said, yes, it's him.
Yeah, I knew it. Thank you, bro. Thank you for shouting us out that one time. And thank you for supporting everything we bring to LA natives. You know, none of this...
And he said to call him Boogs for now on.
Boogs. Right on, Boogs. There you go.
There was a lot to absorb, man. There was a lot to digest from Wednesday, man. I keep thinking about the episode. That's weird, right? Zero?
Wow.
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
It's pointing you in a very precise direction to who you are. What do you think? When I say who you are, what do you think that means?
Man, it's just trying to find your identity. You know, we got people DMing us talking about we're helping them find their identity. And that means so much to us, right, Zero?
It's the promise that our ancestors said. I mean, everything that I wrote down with El Vuh and that I continued on with Zero and what I'm going to continue on with my new project called Tonantzin with the lead singer of Quinto Sol. We already kind of had a verbal agreement about creating some songs. All of that energy has been into finding your identity. And when you can point someone to the energy that was present, the day and the time and the year that you took your first breath, and you can point them to a certain energy, a certain cosmic companion, and then not only that, go, okay, but it's still a sacred calendar that continues on even in your lifetime today. So take your information and apply it to the cosmic wheel and complete your mission here on earth, because we all have one. I think I'm completing mine. Armando, I think you're completing yours. Creating a multimedia platform where, you know, we have a community, a humble community, willing to humble themselves and take the time to know where they fit. What's their ray of sun?
Yo, what's good, LA natives? Bugsy Mogs here. Yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all, love the content, love the show, keeps my mind busy. I heard of y'all through Art Son. Art Son's my boy, and been listening ever since. I love when I get the reminder on Wednesdays and Sundays. And stay up, y'all. Keep on keeping on. Peace.
Shout out Boogs, man. Super
Boogs.
dope.
Really dope.
Sorry that I had to put you on that intro to the Defy episode, but hopefully you like it, man. So anyone that listens to the Defy episode on our Spotify or iTunes, they listen to the shout outs first.
Oh, super cool.
That's super dope. And we're encouraging anyone else to
go
give
express
us some
yourself.
shout outs.
Go express
it's simple
yourself.
as going to Spotify or Anchor and just follow those instructions to leaving us a voice message, and we'll be more than happy to shout you guys out and play them on air.
It's, like I said, it's been overwhelming since Wednesday. Just thinking and I know that I've been really with the fine tooth comb reading this over and over again. And then trying to put it together with the sunstone, right? Because there's energies that are present there. And we can humbly work with them, not own them, not command them, because they kind of command us. Secretly, you've kind of been moving in that same, in the energies that you're born in, you just don't know it. Once you know why you go this way and why you do that and why you have such a this, then you can understand your weaknesses and your strengths. To understand that is to have humility, which is harmoniously tuning yourself to the creator and the universe that you live in, which is an Aztec, is what our Mazatzin said. To a fine, harmonious human who uses and applies all knowledge from Turtle Island in a time sequence. I'm going to study my butt off.
Can I ask you?
So that I could break this down for you guys.
In Mexico, do they teach
They all fight about it.
In their early curriculums, in their public education systems?
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, if you go to school in Mexico and you're lucky, I mean, maybe, I don't know, but not like nationally. It's not like a part. It's not like every name. Like, as a matter of fact, in Mexico, you have to name your kid a Spanish name or some crazy, like you can't name them an indigenous name only. You have to put in a Spanish name, a Jose or something like that, because they won't allow you to put that on their birth certificate. Think about that. If they don't even allow you to have an original name, you think they're going to teach you the sacred cosmology math of the universe? Never. They will never give you anything. They've never given you anything, and that's the point. You got to recognize it. But they didn't need to give you anything because they're not the sun. They're not the abuelos that stood there praying day after day, year after year, minute after minute, and humbly turning in that information to a centralized network that is going to put it into a stone that can't be destroyed because it's too beautiful. It's not destroyed. It's too beautiful. Why are we going to destroy it? Don't destroy it. Right? They finished the work. You can't undo the work. Every bit of this calendar is complete. And if one serpent equals 13,000 years and the other serpent equals 13,000 years, then that's a 26,000 year calendar. 26,000 years of rotations of the sun.
Shout out to Sub One. He's with us today.
Armando, can you conceptualize that? Imagine a people who have taken information about sun movements, star alignments for over 26,000 years. It's insane. It's unfathomable. Did I say that? Unfathomable. Close enough.
Shout out to everyone that's on our Twitch. Our Twitch is hot right now.
I'm still digesting that. And that they went to every corner of Anahuac to get this information. From the tip of Alaska to Nicaragua. Right? And then still had knowledge from Tesahuantzuyuan all the way to Chile. How long did that take? 26,000 years. Did they finish the work? 13 years before the Spanish came. Incredible. This is who we are. The harmonious humans who apply the energies of time. Again, I'm not an expert on this. I just figured out certain keys from that one episode, Armando. That
Well,
one
and-
episode has so many keys in
And
it.
humbly, Maestro said he's not an expert in it either. He learns things every day.
Yeah, we all do. But he nailed it with this book and this poster. He hit a home run. He created something that you can apply. And then imagine another maestro you meet in Mexico who knows a little bit more than Mazatzin and gives you that more information. There's
And
levels.
I think he nailed the podcast interview for us. I think it was a perfect segment. From beginning to end, there was so much.
It was 3 hours.
Yeah, there was so much to
3 hours. That was
take away.
crazy. 3 hour podcast. Well, we did maybe about 25 minutes of like dead air time, but still.
We did sub once live reading. That was amazing.
Yeah. And Brandon's
and the other gentleman, his other tattoo friend.
Oh yeah. Tattoo Theory, I think it is. But I understood the promise in that episode. I understood it. And that's a very profound thing for me.
So unfortunately,
As a recording
Enemies
artist.
had to reschedule. He was supposed to be on today, but me and Zero got together and we're like, it's kind of a good thing because we have so much to talk about when it comes to the segment we had with Maestro.
Yeah.
And we want everyone's feedback. If you guys can let us know if that segment was great, let us know. Let us know what you took away from that segment and if you guys want more.
Absolutely.
We want as much feedback as possible.
Yes, because again, we have access to Maestro Mazatzin, and we're planning things so that it's available to you, and know that the community has to help and sustain itself. If we can do that, then we don't have to answer to anyone, and we could do almost anything we plan to do. Right? We can put festivals on. We could put workshops on. That's our plan for this year, is to put workshops on, is to put festivals on. I'm already trying to lock down Armando, see if we could do a show on June 25th. June 25th, Custer's Last Stand.
Okay.
So that's the challenge. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's put it in motion. That's
the route
let's use our time.
That's the route we're definitely going to take, Zero, because I want to utilize my experience for LA natives, As you know, we're going full throttle on hip hop events.
Yes.
Dope underground hip hop events with famous names and trying to draw crowds of up to 1,000, 2,000 in this pandemic.
Yeah.
And it's an honor for me to co-produce this podcast with you, because if I'm able to take my promotional techniques and practices to shows like this that are for our community in LA natives, for the community of Mazatzins,
and the Tongvas,
and
There's
all the
original
artists
people,
that we've
Tongvas.
and for all the artists that we've interviewed in the past, such legendary interviews, right, Zero?
Absolutely. Well, we represent in a humble way, and the Tongva land will always give respect to it.
So Califaslan says it was great. It was the first time someone has ever broken down the Tonanama.
Absolutely. It's a very sacred calendar. It's derived off of your body.
That means a lot to me, Zero, man. To produce a show that helps people in that way, it's overwhelming.
It's applying your energy efficiently. It's not like just, oh, I could do that. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. It's like, you know what it's like? I'm gonna try to explain it. I came up with this metaphor. See if this makes sense to you, Armando. Picture the sunstone as an anthill, right? You just see the surface of the anthill. And inside that anthill, there's a system where ants have a clear path of what they need to do. In other words, if you're a worker ant or a gatherer ant, that's what you're doing, and you're focused, and they are focused, and they leave their trail, and other ants find it, and they do their job. Picture somebody metaphorically just stepping on that ant hill and destroying the system. Not the ants, just the system. And so now we're running around all wild with having energies, and we're trying to look for things, and everything's not in the right system until we create another anthill with the blueprints of our ancestors, which is the sunstone, and applying it even to in minute increments, 15-minute increments. I bet you we could build an anthill, and we can build one that can't be destroyed. Or maybe we can build one that is destroyed, but we can rebuild once again. Don't walk around this earth all wild and not knowing your energy when someone has done the work in a humble way, using their sons that are sometimes, they're not even, Che's not even here no more. Shout out to Che. We can't sit young Che down on the chair in the podcast. But we can remember him. And we thank him. Thank you, Che. Thank you for being that human being. For taking the time and mending a relationship with your father. Thank you, Uncle Mazatzin. For taking the time and the energy and sacrificing your family time to go learn all the things you need to learn to create your destiny here on earth. Such a powerful destiny to give us back our cosmic identity in a humble fashion. The $20 you ask for your book and the $20 you ask for your poster is minimal compared to the information that you get. I can't thank you enough. You've given us direction. You've contributed to our direction, because no one man is the president or the owner or the lead chief, and not even me. I think we hold ourselves to a certain accountability. But I thank you for doing all this work with your family and your sons. And I feel compassion for the loss of your son. But I thank him from the deepest part of my YOLO for contributing to this book and this poster, working with his dad.
So we have
how beautiful is that?
Beautiful, Zero. So we have our two winners.
Two winners, huh? All right.
So we're going to go ahead and this white LA Natives large t-shirt, we're going to give it a Jose Guru 75. Make sure you DM us on Instagram. Give us your mailing address. We'll send it over right away.
Make sure that the winners take a picture and post it on Instagram, and please tag us.
Jose, do you hear that? Just make sure once you get that shirt,
because we don't you want your whole community to know this information? We're relying on you guys to tag people, to share, to tell people about the website, to tell people about our merchandise. We have a lot of big plans. We're going to apply this sunstone to our lives. We're going to study every day, make this a reality for our 7 generations, because there's 4 generations holding it down at LA Natives.
And the medium hoodie, we're going to go ahead and shoot it to Boogs.
Sweet. Boogs,
send us your DM on Instagram with your mailing address, and we'll go ahead and send it right away. It's a medium. We're short on
the
hoodies
larger size.
we almost sold out on the hoodies. I need to put in a new order.
Yeah, they're starting to take hold. So if you guys want your LA Native shirts and hoodies, you better get them now, because people are really starting to support our mission and understand our cause and our purpose. We want to put memorable events that you could take away, that you could take your mom and dad to, Armando.
Yes.
And not feel like, oh man, this is not appropriate for them.
I can't take them to a Griselda event or a Necro show.
You could take them to an LA Native show.
Exactly.
And festival. You can. This is a family. This is a family thing. We're doing this for the familias of the 7 generations. It's our time. No matter what colonial elites say, no matter what schemes get put in place, I want to apologize to people that I offended about vaccinations. By no means do I not care about people getting sick or hurt. But I do know one thing. I know colonials and I know elites. And they don't give a shit about anybody. Ever. And that's the truth. I'm sorry I have to say it that way, but that's the way they treat us. So just be aware. If you feel like you need to take it, take it. If you're scared, take it. I'm not saying not to take it. I'm not saying that someone died and I don't care. What I want to point you to is real things. Things that matter. Use your tonalama. Find your tonali. Apply it to the great promise that our ancestors gave us, that one day it will find dignity and shine upon us again. What does that mean? It will give us information. It will give us tools not to be cattle and mules anymore. We're not scattered ants looking for a home. We have one. All of us, all of Turtle Island, all of the continent of the Americas, we have a home. We had great elders that took the time to record 26,000 years. Down to the minute. Down to the minute. Use your blood. Use your will. Heal your body. Fulfill your destiny. LA natives. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, LA natives. Next week, we have I Suppose.
Stay tuned. Tap in. Share our blog. Share our website. Buy our merchandise. I say that in a good way. I don't say that in a capitalistic way. If you know what I mean. We have good intentions, my natives. Time is now. We're healed. Now it's time to take care of our seeds. Guide them. Give them what they need. So no one can treat them like cattle. No one will ever think of them as a mule. As a matter of fact, maybe they'll show respect and listen. Because we're trying to tune our babies into harmonious humans with the information they need to contribute to our destiny. Zero El Vuh, LA natives. We'll see you.